Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day, and I still have no idea what or who Queb is. And let me tell you, that lack of knowledge is terrifying. Plus, it's a very cold day. Hokey smokes. It hasn't been snowing since, I think it was 2 days ago. And so there's still ice and stuff outside and piles of accumulated snow. No new snow, but boy, is it cold. Yay! I slept. Hopefully you slept last night. That would be a good thing. And of course, friend-loading videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, it'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, it'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And of course, I'd like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are in fact literally beautiful and literally awesome, helping to keep me and my aging pet alive and metabolizing. Greatly appreciated. If you would like to help keep me and my aging pet metabolizing, I have links to my Patreon in the video description, along with a PayPal for possible donations, an Amazon wishlist link, hopefully with things like pet food on it. So thumbs up, thank you, and front loading the videos over. Yay! It is a brand new day. I had therapy yesterday, and then I had falling asleep problems, and then it took forever for my video to render, and then uploading. Oh my god, normally I get like anywhere from 30 to 40 megabits upload speed per second. It took forever to upload my video for Minecraft yesterday because I was getting on average 3 megabits per second. Oh boy. So it took forever. Very frustrating. I was not happy. Life is life though. My eyes are so dry. Yay. Thumbs up for being dehydrated. Actually, I don't even think it's that. I drink sodas, not just water. If I drink just plain water and I don't have food in my stomach, I feel sick, absolutely nauseated. It's been that way my whole life. But I do smoke cannabis for pain control. And one of the things that happens with smoking cannabis for any reason at all is you get cotton mouth and your eyes dry out. So thumbs up on that. Past that, I was talking about cannabis and pain control yesterday and edibles. One of the reasons that I just don't use edibles, and I'm glad that it is an option for people that cannot do things that are like lung-based. But the only reason I prefer to, vape or smoke or use concentrates for cannabis is because I have much better control over the dosage that's almost immediate. If I smoke a bowl and I need more, I can smoke another bowl and I feel it right then and there. And if I achieve the point where I'm pain-free, then I just stop smoking right there. For me, using edibles, it takes, a good hour and a half for the stuff to work. And if I've taken too much, there's not really anything I can do about it. And if I haven't taken enough, then it's going to be another hour and a half before I can get any real adequate relief. So for me, because my lungs are still moderately good shape, that's the only reason that I prefer to use lung-based delivery systems. So for those people that can't, drinks and edibles and all that are very awesome, and I'm glad that those things are available. Also, speaking of wheezing, I am really sure that it is animal dander that I am having problems with. When I woke up this morning, my lungs were, I wear a sleep apnea mask and it has a filter on it, so it filters out most of the dust and the air junk as I'm sleeping. I take it off, I get a little bit wheezier. I go downstairs where the guinea pigs are, and my sinuses explode. And I just am wheezing and then coughing. So I don't know if it's specifically guinea pigs, because when I come in here in the morning with my aging pet, what's going on with her and the various odors that pets emit, my lungs also wheeze and clog up and my sinuses go nuts in here too. So, life is life. But also, speaking of animals, I wanted to talk about this because it's both funny and silly. I talk to animals all the time, even though I know that they don't understand what I'm saying. because I tell my aging pet what I'm doing all the time. Like if I'm going downstairs, I explain to my pet that I'm going downstairs. Usually I append the statement, even though you don't speak English and you don't understand what I'm saying, to it. Because while I am speaking to my pet, it's mostly just for tone and such like that, to let them know that I love them and it's a good thing. And when I have hamsters, I talk to my hamsters that way. When I go downstairs, I'm always yakking and talking to the guinea pigs, which I call Piggly Wigglies. And so I'm just, whenever I walk by, it's, you have good Piggly Wigglies, and then walk by again to come back upstairs, and it's, oh, good little Piggly Wigglies. And I'm at the point now where I can reach down into their cage and give them stuff, and they'll run up and start sniffing my hands, whereas before, just walking by them, and they would just freak out. So, hey, it's a good thing. I just wish I could treat them better. They're not my guinea pigs, and so I'm not going to go out and spend a lot of, well, I've already spent money on them because my housemates aren't here for the moment, and I've been taking care of the guinea pigs. But I've been trying not to spend my money because I don't even have enough money to feed me for the rest of the month. And this is where it's really going to suck, because in the United States, they have now stopped for people on food stamps any of the supplementary money that they've been doing for the whole covfefe bug thing. So now I'm jumping down to about $100 and some odd bucks for food. I don't have enough money to feed myself throughout the whole month with the emergency allotment. When it's cut down by a third, well, to a third, yeah, I'm going to be losing a lot of weight here. Yay. Still, though, what else is on my list? Oh, yes, I want to talk about this one. Years and years and years ago, I started watching the show Metalocalypse, however it's pronounced, I can't remember, the thing that was on Adult Swim with the fictional melodic death metal band of Death Clock. I like melodic death metal. I think it's awesome. I can listen to other types of metal and enjoy it, but the one that really, does the most for me is melodic death metal. A couple weeks back, RJ Mitchell was talking about, one of the commenters, thankfully, one of my commenters, RJ Mitchell, was talking about how they were going to be going and doing a performance for their band. And yesterday, I was given a link by RJ Mitchell to check out their official video, which I'm going to have a link here or here because, hey, it's a very, very cool song. I really liked it. The production values for the video itself are good. The song itself is good, melodic death metal. So like I say, hopefully in one of these corners, I can't remember where, and hopefully in the video description will be the link to their video. Go check it out. That'd be very, very cool. It's good stuff if you like melodic death metal. Very, very awesome. So let's check out the rest of my list here to see what else I have, which is a fair amount of things. One of them is how everything that seems to be new isn't really. I watched this one drama channel about things that are happening on things like TikTok and the like. Just cause, most of the time I don't even watch them because they're about people I have no clue who they are. Or things that it's like, here's the Berzanowicz challenge that's just killing people on TikTok. And I have no clue what that is, so duh. There was one, though, where they're talking about the blackout challenge and how children have died from this and how it's terrible that in 2023 TikTok is making this stuff available. Thing is, that's not new. Even when I was a child, and I was born in 1962, in the mid-70s, I started high school. Before high school, I had a friend that told me about this thing that was going on. In the mid-70s. They didn't call it the Blackout Challenge, but guess what it was? The Blackout Challenge. Except more, they would actually help you. You held your breath, and then you'd have a friend squeeze your chest from behind, and then you'd pass out. This stuff isn't new. It's just disseminated faster because of social media. That's one of the issues, especially since Even before the internet, they talked about how, a lie can go around the world twice before the truth can even get its shoes on. And that was before the internet. Now it's, oh my God, disinformation is king. But let's see what else I have on my list here that I wanted to talk about. Well, one of them was I have been trying to do experiments because I saw a video about people who have cold-related, I think the official word, cold-related urticaria, which is just swelling and itching, stuff like that, itchiness, because they go outside where it's cold, come inside and warm up, and they get literal anaphylactic shock, welts, and large red spots that are super itchy because it's an allergic reaction. Even though most of my body is fine, when I go out walking, my face and head are totally uncovered, but I wear long sleeve shirts when it's cold, and I basically keep my hands in my pockets up to about here. So this part of my hand and this part of my wrist is uncovered as I walk. When I get back and come inside, because last night it was very, very cold. In fact, I should have worn more than I did, but by the time I got back, I was almost too warm again. So I guess it was the perfect amount. But when I got back and walked inside, my wrists here started to itch before I even did anything else, and they were starting to get red. I ran them under cold water. Normally, I immediately wash my hands with hot water. But I washed my hands with cold water, just putting cold water on them, because I like to wash my hands after I go to a store. And immediately, these turned bright red, and I had welts popping up, and oh boy, did it itch. So yeah, on my wrists, I really have cold-related allergic reactions. This is the only time I have ever had allergic reactions to anything, so it's weird to have an allergic reaction to being cold when it's only my wrists that do it. So thumbs up. And of course, once again, thank you very much if you ever watch and listen to these videos. Nobody is forcing you to, and if you're doing so, you're doing it of your own volition. I'm just a weird, aging old man who's got a lot of opinions and thoughts about stuff, struggling with my ADHD, my autism spectrum disorder diagnosis, my depression, my social awkwardness, my social anxieties, my attempts to do something creative with my life. I've been sleepwalking. I talked with my therapist about this. I mean, on top of other things, I have just been massively crippled. I started drinking because of SA when I was a child. Before I was 10, I was drinking. By the time I got to high school, I was really drinking. And when I turned 18 and it became legal for me to finally start drinking, I really started pouring the alcohol down my neck. By the time I hit the year 2000, I had been an alcoholic like basically my whole life. And then after I went to rehab, before I could even recover from all this and try to figure out who I am, I fell in love and got married. And then, of course, 2 years into that, my wife started to die. And I spent 10 years watching her die in front of my eyes, going from a vital, healthy person who worked all the time to someone who I had to help take her down to the bathroom from sitting on the sofa watching television. And then, of course, she died in our living room in a hospital bed on hospice while I was in the other room waiting for her to finally go. And since 2014, since she's been gone, I have been trying to recover from all of that. I have never had a chance to be anything but a sleepwalker my whole life. But I'm just glad I'm waking up now. Sure, I'm 60. Yeah, I mean, I could die tomorrow. Any one of us could. I could have something horrible in my body. I could have an aneurysm happen. We're all going to die of something. I just hope it isn't going to be too painful when I go. But the fact that I am finally, after 60 years, putting myself back together slowly, yeah, it's It's a slow process, and even if I only get myself put back together 25 to 30% by the time I kick off, that's better than I have been. Even now, looking at my life for the past year, just like every year that happens, I go, oh gosh, I was sleepwalking through so much of that last year. I'm glad I'm more awake now. I've been doing that ever since I started therapy, where each year I feel better, and then each year I look back and go, wow, I was still sleepwalking. So who knows? Maybe I'll stop sleepwalking by the time I finally die. That'd be cool. Checking my list here to see what else we have. Oh yes, it's the two types of executive dysfunction. One is actual and one isn't really executive dysfunction, I do not believe. The one type of executive dysfunction that I have a lot is my therapist has somebody who is more of an expert in this, and she has said, and I describe it as, you want to do something, but before you can do it, you have to take a look at this picture and spell the name of the animal in it. But when you have this kind of executive dysfunction, the picture is just an assortment of random shapes and colors. How are you supposed to spell the name of the animal? And until you can't do that task. There are a million things I want to do and can't because I can't figure out that picture. The other type is an actual executive dysfunction because there's things like emotional not content, but emotional weight behind it. I have mentioned that I have a certain amount of time that I can exert by pushing on levers, metaphorically, and a certain amount of weight that I can push on buttons, metaphorically. And each task that you do during a day is going to take a certain amount of time to press the lever to make it happen, and then a certain amount of pressure to push the button. And when you finally exert the time and the pressure, you can do the task. I've only got like 2 hours worth of pushing time, lever time, and about 3 hours of button pushing time. And so a lot of things that I want to get done, I'm inside of my head subconsciously or consciously going, I've only got an hour left. That's going to take a 2 hours worth of pushing. I can't do it. And so no matter how much I'm yelling at myself in my head, I just can't do it because I don't have enough pushing time or enough lever time. Joy. Still though, thumbs up. At least I'm alive and trying. Taking a look at what else there is on here. Yeah, I talked with my therapist about Calvin and Emma. If you've ever watched my videos like yesterday's, I talk a lot about them. He really, really, really still likes everything I'm doing narratively. There is a whole branch of therapy based on narrative therapy where you do what I do. You tell stories to try and deal with trauma and issues. So my using the cryptids to do that in my creative setting is incredibly therapeutic, and thumbs up. Speaking of which, every time I think that I've pretty much mined out a thing and I need to start, doing the actual business, the whole world will open up again. This has happened with my inside-outside Razor's Edge and massively on the cryptids. Once again, my thinking of the dark carnivals and then the exploration further of the cryptids who would own an RV park, who are actually nice people. Yes, they occasionally eat one of the guests that parks at the RV park, but it's not maliciously. But these thoughts has expanded again what I have to think about for the whole cryptid world, because it first started off with just one guy and then a ghost type, and for the longest time I couldn't think of anything past those two, and then suddenly out on Walkies the world exploded into what has become the entire cryptid population and world of Brookerton, South Carolina. And now that I started thinking of dark carnivals and things like that, the entire thing has exploded further for me to examine and figure out. So remember, you do not have to monetize Your work, your passions, and your pleasures. Because if you monetize your passions and your pleasures and you turn them into work, they're not passions and pleasures anymore. They're work. The odds of my actually being able to write this stuff down and sell it in any sort of fashion, especially with the flood of all the AI novels and such, are very, very low. But you don't have to monetize your passion. Create for the sake of creating. If you are happy creating settings for tabletop role-playing games, make them. Fill journals with them. Be creative. You don't have to monetize it. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, I need to remember to reorder my ADHD med today. I have 6 tablets left. I'm going to go cold turkey off of these if they don't show up in time. You are not supposed to go cold turkey off this type of med. Yay. We have Jesse Koskinen. Always good to see you, and hopefully your photo editing will be good. AV Brown, thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. And then we have Mr. E, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29. Oh, those baby sheeps. And then MSM Theory, thumbs up. Flora Mew, greatly appreciated. And I watched the whole video on the whole chat thing. It's all still basically predictive text, but they run text through a whole bunch of things they call transformers, which edits and modifies it so that it can go down further into the reply part. But it is still, even when they do that, largely just a predictive text. If you have other people that do them, they maintain a code base on top of that is still largely just a bunch of if-then branching statements based on keywords that they like. So thumbs up. And then we have Lumiria, thumbs up, and thank you very much, who has given me good advice on what I need to do if I want to stop those baby animals running around in my Minecraft game. Thank you. Larry from Space, greatly appreciated. And Chris, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And that's a cute little sheep emoji. Emoji, not a mobi. Shaw, thumbs up and thank you. EW, greatly appreciated. Oh, and Lumeria has some other advice too. And EW, if you watch this, I am hoping to get my stuff put into my computer this weekend. So if things go well, this weekend I will have my new computer all up and running. So we have Zacky Fishy, thumbs up and thank you. And Munchy Memes, greatly appreciated. Umaro, oh, I love snow too. Victor Barreiro, thumbs up and thank you. And then we have Joseph Staggs, who was being critical but wasn't abusive. So I explained the situation and they were nice in return. And then we have RJ Mitchell, thumbs up, thank you much. And really in Seattle, there was Seattle, I used to go to Seattle all the time. I had to take my wife there all the time while she was dying. And then the KOYL, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. Pink Wave Gamer, thumbs up, thank you. And that is it. It looks like, 19 people actually left me comments in the past 24 hours? Thumbs up, thank you, each and every one of you. It is appreciated. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is appreciated to no end. Well, hokey smokes, what am I going to get done today? Probably not a whole lot. I'm just going to try to survive and do what I can. Thumbs up for that. Hopefully you can do what you can and survive, and that would be awesome as well. And of course, just to be safe, if people are getting sick where you are, take appropriate precautions. If people are getting physically hurt where you are, take appropriate precautions. If you're out walking and you hear the mournful howl of the bus horn, the bus with your name on it, well, there's not a lot of precautions you can take. Just close your eyes, hunker down, and hope it doesn't hurt too much when it hits, because oh boy. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is, quite frankly, a very good thing.